Mm, mm, mm. What up? What up? What up?
Make it bang, Gilla.
Burn live, burn live. Marijuana keeping you connected. Hashtagging these red eyes. Changing the viewers' irate. Keeping underage smoking off social media. Killing ourselves for your entertainment. Sitting here with friends and family starting a cannabisation. I appreciate everybody coming up in here. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. Get your blunts, get your weed, get your joints. Let's get into this one. Yo. Kind of, I wasn't feeling this beat when I first heard it. Then I started freestyling into it, and I was like, yeah, man. I'm like, it started to get to me. I ain't freestyled on here, y'all. People don't know, you know what I'm saying? Hashtag them red eyes. That's what we used to do up in here, you know? We used to just smoke weed and just get jiggy with it. I was thinking about it. I was like, man, shall I come the intro with that? And I had something. I was gonna start off like popping the red blue pill like we burn up in the Matrix. I don't know if I could make. I don't know what Democrat, Republican, or elephant in the ear. And I hit them up, the runga deer, and I hit a deer. This ain't crystal clear. A lot of people be on crystal, they done disappeared. I ain't seen too many faces, but they court cases, they get disappeared. I don't see them faces. 20 to life, 30 to life, I'm in a situation. Court hit the gala, that they allegations, writing sentences so people get discover I'm the best of the mockery. This is our hypocrisy. Nobody knows how I'm spitting. They say them words getting so words that I'm delivering. I'm just spitting the words up in your clever. I don't know if them words still deliver. They shit hitting your liver. So duck though. I ain't stuck though. This is the rup though. This is the brup show. Burn live, here we go on political show. The political mind is blowing your minds, and every time just busting us, I'm busting my dime. I just need me a quarter just for wasting my time. Yo, I'm back on my line of just the first step, 2 steps. Nobody spit it though. They really want, boy, want to hit it though. Straight up out the park, base runs don't go up in Las Vegas unless you get the dice up in the places. PlayStation, you can get the Xbox, Microsoft, hip hop. I don't know which one will stop. I'm never gonna stop with everybody coming with the pockery. They grooming your old little kids up in Target B. They targeting the kids though. That stuff ain't simple. They looking at aim at their tempo, make sure that it's stuck though. They getting in the breathing of the city. They say they dance around the city like P. Diddy. Damn. 50 cents of the water just touching, and they don't know which bathroom they order. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I gotta let them know I'm live. Hold on. I ain't got my headphones or nothing. Man, let me break this weed down and get up into. I haven't got spitting. I was up in the groove. But that's because I ain't been spitting in a while, y'all. And I just wanted to rant. I kind of liked the beat. But other than those, man, it's a lot of little things I'm saying that we need to talk about. Um, I am gonna have angel cakes one day soon. We're gonna go on my other page where I get my videos from, and we're gonna go around collecting all the news from every metropolitan, so I can just have a lot of news to go over, a lot of news to discuss. I got a nice little blunt mixture right here going on too, y'all. But let me get off in the show because I know my audience is about to come around real soon, and my audience want to hear them receipts. They want to see those receipts. And if they don't see them receipts, they be like, you know what? I really don't watch your show. And I'm like, well, damn. Burr. So we're going to kick this off.
Joining us now,
like this.
Perhaps the most full-throated critic the former president has on this subject among his Republican primary opponents, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who, of course, I should remind everyone, will be joining Anderson Monday night for a CNN town hall, which I will be eagerly watching. Governor Christie, thanks so much for joining us and popping in to give your reaction on this important day. Last night you said no one's above the law, but you wanted to wait and read the indictment before reacting, which, you know, frankly seems like a responsible thing to do. Now you've read it. What do you think?
Oh, Jake, look, you know, for folks who may not remember this, I did this for 7 years as the U.S. Attorney in New Jersey, the 5th largest U.S. Attorney's office out of the 93 in the country. Brought 130 political corruption prosecutions against Republicans and Democrats and didn't lose one. So I know how this stuff works. And the fact is that these facts are devastating. You know, you have a president who, according to the indictment, directed the packing of those boxes in terms of what to take, directed where they should go to Mar-a-Lago, directed where they went while they were inside Mar-a-Lago, directed them to move to Bedminster during the summer when he would spend his summers in New Jersey. And then when requests came, starting in May of 2021, informal requests, he continued to stonewall them and not return the documents. Then when a subpoena came, asked his lawyers, Jake, whether or not we even have to respond to it. Do we have to play ball? You know, and then tried to get them to lie on his behalf. And when he knew they wouldn't, and his own lawyer had to make recordings to protect himself, when he knew they wouldn't, he directed his folks to hide boxes from his own lawyer in order not to turn these documents over to the government. Look, you know, people are going to argue about who should and who should not have been indicted and who should be tried. But let me say this. The bigger issue for our country is this the type of conduct that we want from someone who wants to be president of the United States? To take national security documents involving warfare and our nuclear program, to keep them in their home when they're not allowed to do so, exposing them to potentially being seen by any number of people, and then actually showing them to people, showing off. This is irresponsible conduct. And look, at the time when Hillary Clinton was not charged, I argued against that. I think she should have been charged. I think that was a mistake. And during the Russia investigation, I was one of the people who spoke out and said, I didn't think Donald Trump had anything to do with it. I was involved with the campaign, and I didn't think there was anything to the Russian collusion as it applied to Donald Trump. So I've spoken out against those things when I think they were wrong. But just because they were wrong doesn't justify the conduct that he engaged in. And I think we have to focus on the conduct, Jake. And the conduct is bad. And it is bad for anybody in this country to do it, but it's particularly awful for someone who has been president and who aspires to be president again.
So as a former U.S. attorney, does this look like a case that you would theoretically have brought had you been assigned?
You know, I don't know all the facts, Jake, but I'll tell you this. It's a very, very evidence-filled indictment. What you can tell as a trained person reading this is they have tape recordings, they have electronic text messages and emails, and that they have the testimony of dozens of people who were right around Donald Trump in Mar-a-Lago and in Bedminster over time. Those are all the elements of the things you need to bring.
Yet again, he said he read all the documents. He's seen all that. If they presented you this case, would you present it to court and try to indict Donald Trump? That's the question. Follow-up question.
A case like this. And so what I would say is that it looks like these prosecutors and their partners at the FBI thoroughly investigated this. And it looks like the only two people who did not cooperate with the government are Donald Trump and Walt Nauta. And I think that's why they're on the wrong side of the V, as we say in the business, and have been charged in this case.
Republican officials, whether candidates or elected officials, seem to be falling into three groups. One is those who are just being quiet. That's most of them. Then there's those who are vociferously defending Donald Trump. And then there's a small group of you and Governor Asa Hutchinson and Mitt Romney and Adam Kinzinger. This afternoon, House Speaker McCarthy said that this indictment will disrupt the nation. He says that it calls into question equal justice for all. Congressman Andy Biggs says that we've reached a, quote, war phase. What do you make of the rhetoric? And what do you make of the fact that you're in such a small group of people willing to call out this alleged lawlessness?
I think the group will get larger, Jake, as everyone gets an opportunity to absorb the facts. Look, I agree with Speaker McCarthy in this respect. The indictment will disrupt the nation. But let me ask you a question. Who's responsible for that? The conduct that Donald Trump engaged in was completely self-inflicted. In May or June or July or August of 2021, he could have just returned the documents. And in fact, if you look at the indictment, even the documents that he did return, subject to the subpoena in 2022, those documents, he wasn't charged on any of them. So even if he had given all the documents back in response to the subpoena, as he was legally required to do, we wouldn't be here today. So everyone wants to blame the prosecutors. And look, I think the prosecution, DOJ, is at fault for not charging Hillary Clinton. It's at fault for what happened in the Russia investigation because it undercut people's faith and confidence in the system. But each case has to be looked at on its own merits. And the facts that are laid out here are damning in terms of Donald Trump's conduct. And that's what I think we as a party should be looking at. Do we really believe that someone who engaged in this type of conduct is going to be the best person to put up against Joe Biden? That's the question we should be asking. Congress has the ability to have oversight over the Department of Justice, and I encourage them to do it vigorously and fairly and ask all the questions they need to ask of the leadership of the Department of Justice. That's what we should be doing. But what we should also be doing is holding to account people who are in positions of responsibility and saying, if you act badly, there has to.
Do remember, ladies and gentlemen, he just threw his hat in last week for running for president. So, of course, anything to make your candidate look bad, to make you look good, to make the people stare at you more. So this is what we talk about at the beginning, races, and you're going to see all the little he says, she says and stuff. So, man, we get into the good parts of this, of the debates and allegations and this is the problem with this debate and with this election coming up. I'm quit saying debate. With this election coming up, everybody is going to talk about Trump. That's where other candidates and people are going to go wrong. Is always talking about Trump. Trump this, Trump that, Trump this, Trump that, Trump this, Trump that.
Be penalties for that. There has to be a cost to be paid. And he could have avoided all of this if he had just returned the documents at any point, if he hadn't taken them in the first place. But once he took them, if he had returned them at any time between January of 2021 and August of 2022, he wouldn't be here tonight and the country wouldn't be here. He has contributed mightily to subjecting the country to the pain that we're going to go through over the course of the next number of months because of what's going on.
Joining us now, perhaps the most full-throated critic.
He just said, we, the people, are going to go over the pain because y'all want to take you to court right before the elections, right before the primaries, right before everything. As y'all see my board, that's what I guess I'm going to start calling it. Y'all see my board. Trump, 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 Trump. I didn't, I'm a Trump supporter. I didn't pick these. This is, y'all see every day. Y'all see every day. This is going to be y'all fault this is the American people's fault. No, these gonna be the news people's fault of why Trump win, because y'all gonna be putting Trump news and y'all gonna make it good for a person like me that has something to report on. Oh yes, I can't wait. I knew this was going to happen.
I want to go to breaking news right now in Glendale, where arrests have been made. This after a very contentious debate over Pride instruction at schools there and a school meeting with the board tonight.
And we understand the crowd obviously unruly with the arrest. Sandra Mitchell is there live. As we understand, a dispersal order has been issued. Sandy, what can you tell us?
Micah, you're exactly right. There has now been violence just outside where the Glendale Unified School Board meeting is happening. Inside, they've been very civilized, but outside, you see this large gathering of Glendale police. We are told that at least one arrest has been made. There was a confrontation at Kenworth and Wilson here just outside the Unified School Board meeting. Police coming over a loudspeaker ordering the crowd to disperse, saying that this is an unlawful assembly and that they...
Why are we doing Pride in school? Sexualizing kids in school is not what we need to be doing. It's not looking... I don't care what nobody said. It don't look right, bro. We used to be embarrassed to talk about sex in school. Now we're over sexualizing school.
Will not hesitate to use chemical agents against the crowd. So again, things are starting to calm down, but you can hear the police shouting those orders in the background. Again, we have two sides here. A lot of people from the LGBTQ plus community who are here in support of this curriculum that has been in effect in Glendale since 2019. On the other side, we have a lot of people waving American flags saying this should not be introduced to children at a young age. The very latest, at least one person has been arrested. Glendale police ordering the crowd to disperse, but people are really digging in here and refusing to go. We'll keep our eye on things and bring you the very latest. Live in Glendale right now, I'm Sandra Mitchell. Chair Michael, back to you.
All right, Sandra, thank you. We'll continue to monitor the situation there in Glendale. Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman. We begin here at 6:30 with breaking news from Glendale, where at least one arrest has been made outside a heated school board meeting where they are addressing LGBTQ instruction in the classrooms. Gil Levis over the scene in Sky 5. Gil.
Micah, you're looking at the crowd here. This is the 200 block of North Jackson Street in Glendale at the Glendale Unified School District office. You can see as I zoom in here, the Glendale Police Department has put up a barricade, that yellow spiral object there that goes all the way across to the sidewalk, separating the two groups out here. This is all in regards to a school board meeting tonight for the a curriculum that's being voted on for the Pride support. I can zoom in here and show you that the two opposition sides have been separated by that, and also by the law enforcement officials here on the scene here.
Look how many people with Pride. Now look how many people against Pride that's standing out there. That's amazing. Ooh, my God. I swear. I don't know why I'm tired or why I'm so sleepy. I must have been smoking on some sativa. Must be the sativa. But that's ridiculous, dog.
At this point, like you said, at least
the right side is full of people
that has been arrested. But at this point, it looks like the police have it somewhat sustained. I'm going to zoom in here and show you some movement here, that people are moving away or towards that coiled object there. But again, at this point, it looks like they've restored some of the peace here with that coiled object that's separating the two groups. But again, a large response by Glendale PD out here. And the CHP also has been notified as to what's going on here. But again, you can see the response there, the police helicopter overhead as well, and the many squad units that have showed up here in response to what was happening just a short time ago. That's the latest overhead up in Sky 5. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Now, Gil, we understand a dispersal order was issued a short time.
You see that American flag, so you know what they about. You know what they about.
Ago, obviously, you see several dozen people with no intention of leaving. What's your understanding of the situation as it relates to law enforcement and what they'll tolerate going forward here?
Well, at this point, if they've already given that dispersal order, they're not gonna wait. They're gonna ask for these people to leave. If they don't leave, they may use force. They may move in and use, like Sandra was saying earlier in her report, they might use some sort of a chemical, maybe whatever they have on hand to disperse the crowd. But again, you can see what they've done here with that coiled barrier. That is coming to be very handy for those officers. They had it set up. It was coiled up in this planter, and once there was a problem, they started pulling that out and separating the groups. So that's kept them apart. But now for the police, they're going to want the groups to disperse, and if they don't, they will definitely move in and make more arrests.
All right, we'll be watching it. Gil Labus in Sky 5. Thank you.
We begin with the violent.
Wait. I like it. Don't do that. Repeat on this. I'm trying to keep us up to date with the news. I think that actually was from a couple of days ago, everybody, to be honest with you. Something that the audience can't see.
The state of California wants the parents of the children who started a wildfire in Jamul to pay more than $500,000.
Jesus!
Jasmine Ramirez shares more about this new lawsuit and talked with people in the community about who they say should be responsible.
The wildfire started when the family was on a camping trip. Now the parents are being asked to pay more than $675,000 for the cost to fight the fire and the damage it caused. The Skyline Fire burned 100 acres in June of 2020. Here you can see flames approach people's property as crews worked to put out the blaze.
It was bad. Yeah, I mean, because they shut the four corners off. Nobody could go through. It was pretty bad.
I actually know people who had their house burned down when that happened and lost a lot of property.
Look how she said that. I know. Oh, let me make this sound juicy. Who lost their, I hope they report that, the people that lost their fire. Okay. I hope they actually report that, not just getting an eyewitness who, I'm sorry, I read body language.
And they had a farm out there, so they lost a lot of revenue with their farm as well.
The state says the blaze was ignited by children playing with a campfire and that the parents negligently supervised them. Now the parents are being asked to pay.
I think the parents should be responsible for it. Yeah, that's my thought.
The state also says it wasn't the first fire the kids started. The lawsuit alleges 3 days prior that one or both of the kids started a fire by playing with sticks from the family's campfire.
You had your actions and there are consequences for them. So, you know, there's pros and cons to every side of the story, but I think it is good that people are being held accountable for those kinds of things.
I think that sets a precedent that's not going to be, it's not going to be good for the state and for this area.
But the state says the parents had the ability to better monitor their children and could have prevented the Skyline Fire from happening. Jasmine Ramirez, CBS 8.
There we go. So, you know, they're having bad fires on the East Coast. I reported that yesterday. And now you got kids that's busting out fires on the West Coast. Hey, this year has been really weird. And you could always think that people could have their stories or have the weirdest stories. Oh, Lord Jesus. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I didn't do it, ladies and gentlemen. Texas.
We're following a developing story in Denton this morning. Residents say they're upset after the city voted not to adopt a marijuana ordinance that they'd voted on. The newsroom with more. Megan.
Yeah, good morning to you, Mark. So it's been 7 months since voters passed a measure to decriminalize low-level possession of marijuana in Denton, but the city is still not enforcing it. And so last night, folks showed up in strong opposition and support of the city's decision. Proposition B passed back in November with 70% of the vote. It was supposed to end citations and arrests for possessions of marijuana 4 ounces or less, ban using smell as a probable cause, and ban paying for testing substances for THC. But shortly after it passed, the city manager argued it conflicted with state law and said she could not direct the chief of police to enforce this new ordinance. Well, people voiced their concerns last night in a long and very packed meeting. Police officers testified saying this law does violate state law, and marijuana searches can often lead them to discover violent crimes. Those who want the ordinance enforced argue not enforcing it disproportionately targets people of color over low-level marijuana offenses.
It's a complete misunderstanding of how government works. It is not an unelected bureaucrat's decision on what's legal or illegal. It's the court's decision.
The council ultimately voted 4-3 not to adopt the already existing ordinance, which essentially means nothing, right? So the ordinance stays on the books in Denton, but the city manager and the chief likely will not enforce it. We'll keep you updated on this one. Kara, back to you.
I don't think Texas want their crime to go up. I think Texans feel like the more you decriminalize, they're looking at states like Oregon, you're looking at states like Chicago, states that are starting to decriminalize drugs still have a high rated crime level. Decriminalize drugs, niggas act a fool. Basically. You ever heard about no meth labs blowing up lately? But then you got this new drug on the streets. What's it called? What's fentanyl? Oh yeah. That's killing people. So it's always a new drug that's gonna kill people. You know, blow up your homes, deteriorate your skin, have your skin falling off, you look like zombies. Yeah. But Texas, like, no matter what we do, I'm not decriminalizing that weed because everything else is gonna come in.
Everything else is gonna come in with it.
That's crazy. We still on the blue effect, huh?
But you can already find that there anyways.
Find it there, but who wants to find something there and then still have the obligation to be getting in trouble for it?
Yeah.
I don't want to find something like, oh yeah, I got weed, I can smoke, but what the fuck? Like, no, like that's not cool. Look at this, y'all. Every time I come back, just trip reports. There's me. Try to stay away from Trump reporters.
You logged a lot of miles. If I may ask about California, I'm sure you know California officials.
This how they gonna play this one where you can barely hear the reporter?
I want to ask what your response is to Governor Newsom, and also more broadly, what would you say to critics who question whether Florida tax dollars should be used to transport migrants that aren't used?
So here's the thing. These sanctuary jurisdictions are part of the reason we have this problem, because they have endorsed and agitated for these types of open border policies. They have bragged that they are sanctuary jurisdictions. They attack the previous administration's efforts to try to have border security. And so that's the policies they've staken out. And then what? When they have to deal with some of the fruits of that, they all of a sudden become very, very upset about that. Well, what are these people having to deal with here? I don't see the sympathy for them. And so, the reality is I think the border should be closed. I don't think we should have any of this. But if there's a policy to have an open border, then I think the sanctuary jurisdiction
What's up,
should be the
Dodo?
ones that have to bear that. We're not a sanctuary in Florida. And yes, we know people want to come. And so the more we can divert before we even have to get there is good for our state. And this policy's been debated now for a long time. It got overwhelming support from the legislature. These were things that I had to go to them. I wasn't just doing it on my own. And I think it's been something that's been, that's been very, very effective. And you can see why some people, when they're coming illegally, a place like California, they give benefits. They give unemployment checks. They do all that. And so you could see why some of those folks were interested in going that direction. In Florida, we've gone the opposite way. We say, we're going to have a legal workforce. We're not going to have benefits. We're not going to do that. And basically trying to disincentivize it. Other states have tried to incentivize it. And so I think they should be the ones to pay, to do it. Why don't we all just come together and say the current policy is a failure? Any country worth its salt would have control over its own borders. We have too many Americans dying, and this is totally unacceptable. And let's get the federal government to do to reverse course. I don't see that from those areas. I see basically just complaints about it, about if people show up there, but I don't see them willing to address the underlying problem, which is the failed policy. Back in the back. I got in the back here.
Regarding the migrant flights.
Okay, I will cover this, y'all, but I can't hear that boy. I can't hear the questions. Okay, so that ride that we was talking about, we seen earlier was from 3 days ago. All this about him getting indicted is now. So everybody's gonna report on indicted. He's there. Rondell Martin is probably down there indicted with him, loving, holding his hand, drooling on his balls. This was 5 days ago, Florida, man. What's going on here?
The victims had backed apparently into this guy's driveway. He was not happy about it.
Flagler County Sheriff's investigators say Terry Vetch was so unhappy that a vehicle briefly backed into his driveway in the W section of Palm Coast. He charged out of his house to confront the driver, who was now across the street. Vetch's own home surveillance captured it all.
We've seen many, many times where the anger gets a hold of somebody and they lose control about what they're supposed to do. The unfortunate thing is sometimes that ends in death.
Investigators say the driver's passenger, who was knocking at a friend's door, heard the commotion and came back, which is where things escalated. Suspect Vetch told deputies she was the aggressor.
She's coming clear across into my yard, okay, into my face, okay, and in a threatening manner.
But deputies say the surveillance shows something else. Though the female walked toward the suspect, deputies say she was never actually on the suspect's property. Instead, they say Vetch went toward her, pulled a gun out of his pocket, and pointed it at her head. Investigators say the suspect told them when he first saw that vehicle backing into his driveway, he acted because he says he thought it was someone else, a neighbor he's had troubles with in the past. But it wasn't that neighbor, and investigators say by the time the enraged homeowner came outside, the vehicle was gone, the driver pulling forward to the correct property across the street.
We ask that people just don't engage each other when they're in that kind of state of mind, because it never ends very well.
Luckily, no one was hurt. Vetch charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. In Flagler County, Claire Metz, WESH 2 News.
Cameras. Everybody get your camera. It's good and it's bad, y'all. It's good and it's bad. It's good and it's bad. It's good and it's bad. It's just How are you going to see the story? Are we going to see the full footage? Are you going to see partial of the footage? You know, that's basically how you're going to play it. You know, it's like me, and I'm glad that, you know, there's people out there that see that I'm like right down the middle. I don't, oh my God.
What?
From the 8 News Now investigators, rapper Blueface once again behind bars after he was arrested today while walking into the Las Vegas courthouse. He faces a new charge of robbery. This is video of him back in November when he appeared on an attempted murder charge. The 26-year-old's real name is Jonathan Porter. Today, Porter was taken into custody while walking into court for a preliminary hearing on that charge. His attorneys tell 8 News Now the only information they have on this new case is that it involves taking a cell phone from a woman at the Palms Casino, allegedly. Brian?
Allegedly.
Dumb. And I'm not calling him dumb, just calling that situation dumb, stupid. That's what you call a waste of taxpayers' money. I'm not going to sit here and follow up on that, but you know what it is. That's a dumb, like, ooh, what's up with this gold?
You've seen those ads touting gold as an investment. Well, all these people were so confident in one gold company, they poured their life savings into it. Then they say they got robbed. Lisa Guerrero investigates.
You see them everywhere, especially on cable.
Protect yourself from outrageous inflation. Buy gold.
Ads selling gold as a great investment in times of economic distress, like the pandemic.
There's only one asset class that performs
I have always said this, and people always thought I was on some bullshit. We, as Americans, don't have no gold. We don't have no gold. We don't have no gold. We don't have nothing. America has nothing to damn trade with other countries. Okay? If any other country cut off America's trade, our dollar, our money, our economy, we're fucked. And not only are not to say that we're fucked, not to say that we're fucked like that, to say that we are gonna make a move that the American people would disagree on, that we're gonna be looked at like terrorists for a second. Because we're gonna go out here scrambling other countries and taking over until we build up our economy. Somebody's gotta pay for this. We can't be looking scrawny. And this is what you probably seeing taking forth in the middle of your eyes. But when I talk, people say, "But like I look stupid, sound dumb."
consistently well in times of economic turmoil.
But all these folks say the gold investments offered by a different company called Regal Assets caught their eye.
Regal Assets is the only gold company endorsed by celebrity investors, such as Laura Ingraham.
The only company I trust with the process is Regal Assets.
When I decided that I wanted to protect my money, I looked at different companies and I was impressed with Regal Assets.
Lawrence Fernandez, a retired CBS TV editor, says he invested nearly everything he had, over $1 million. But he says all that gold never came.
It's out in the ether somewhere. It just vanished.
Fernandez and all these other investors are now part of a Facebook group calling themselves Victims of Regal Assets. Altogether, they say they've lost over $10 million.
How much money did you end up losing altogether?
All of it. All of it.
Your entire life savings?
Yes.
We're still missing $391,760.
So how much money altogether did you and your husband lose through Regal Assets?
$483,000.
It has been very hard. We have to ask for a loan recently to pay some bills.
This is the CEO and founder of Regal Assets, Tyler Gallagher.
Inflation's, it's on the rise.
He lived lavishly in Beverly Hills and was driven around town in a luxury car, chauffeured by Kyle Chernak. He says Gallagher was a loose cannon and often drunk.
He was eating these chocolate-covered mushrooms, the psychedelic mushrooms covered in chocolate.
So he was doing drugs and drinking throughout the day, every day.
Every day.
I mean, greed is a hell of a drug.
Kevin Snyder, who sold investments at Regal Assets for a year before he says he was let go for financial reasons, says Gallagher's top aide was Leah Donoso, the president of the company.
She ran the entire back end with all the shipping and tracking and security of the metals. So I couldn't see how she didn't know. I feel bad for anyone else that gets caught up in whatever she's doing.
Many of the investors we spoke to tell the same story, saying that Leah Donoso happily took their retirement money and then spoon-fed them lies about when they'd receive their gold. But after months of delays and their gold still missing, they say they soon started to fear the worst.
We caught up with Leah Donoso in a parking lot in Waco, Texas.
Hi, we'd like to talk to you about Regal Assets.
No comment, thank you.
Did you take advantage of your investors?
Comment, thank you.
So where is Tyler Gallagher today? Well, apparently.
Texas and Walmart. Y'all want me to move to Texas? And they don't want to decriminalize weed? Texas starting to look like one of them states that's just not looking too friendly right now.
Currently not in Beverly Hills anymore. He's reportedly moved to the Middle East nation of Dubai, known for its wealth and lively nightlife.
I would tell him to keep running because I want to put him in jail for life. I feel very vengeful. I'm not a forgiving person.
What kind of a man does this to people like us, to God-loving, God-fearing people that are just trying to do?
Because he's not looking at your face. Business doesn't have a face. Ladies and gentlemen. When he seen your money, when he did all this transaction with you, he didn't look at you. He didn't see you. He has never met you. That's the problem with people that want to deal with certain businesses. And when you get inside these businesses and when you want to invest your business and you don't know where to invest your business and how to invest into yourself. But you know, and we know that we want to invest in assets and things that are longevity. Gold, unless you're doing the proper research, is not one of them. Notice, see, I don't know how many people be watching my show. And I've been watching these two podcasts, and they was talking about investing in gold and their companies, and then all of a sudden they switch commercials. And I was always kind of skeptical, and I was like, "Damn, they always talking about investing in gold, but only way you kind of investing in gold is if you're going out of the country." Like, okay, I'm gonna invest in Russia gold, but Russia's in war. But you want to invest in gold? Who got gold? Russia, Africa. You know, them only the two countries I know offhand. Anywhere where you can go mine for gold, everybody would say California, but yet again, if that was the case, if mining for gold was that luxury and that good and that such of a wealth, it'd be a national stone park for one, and two, it would definitely be way more expensive to live in California. That's probably why it is expensive, because they want to hide the truth and say, man, we just see this big faulty line of gold. But I doubt it. We'll get back on some alien shit then. That Dave Chappelle goes off on Donald Trump. Oh my God, what's going on here?
Yeah, got a show for y'all. Got a damn good show. Ben Shapiro just roasted Donald Trump. These damn Jews, man. No, man, a big part of a reason why we're conservatives, man, is because of Ben, man. Came across his videos. He's a good Jew. He helped convert a couple Negroes. He saved us. He saved. Anyway, he saved us. But anyway, Joe, I was gonna say Joe Biden. This shit must wake up. Must have went airborne. But anyway, Ben Shapiro criticized Trump in this upcoming election. Check this video out.
Hey, back. DeSantis. We'll start with the shortcomings of Trump. He's 76 years old. He has no ability to control his mouth or his typing fingers. He has no sort of actual plan to win. I mean, he literally complained in 2020 that he was robbed of the election through voter fraud, but no one will ask him a simple question. How do you plan to unrob the election in 2024? He's wildly unpopular with women. He has an approval rating, last I checked, in the 20s. And by the available data, he will probably underperform how he performed in 2020, saying to millions of people, yeah, you voted for me in 2016. Then you voted against me in 2020, and now I want you to switch back and vote for me. That's not even switching minds once. That's switching minds twice. That's super difficult. DeSantis is extremely meticulous about how he approaches politics. When he focuses in on an issue, he really focuses. He's good at actually governing. The dirty little secret about Florida is to really well-govern a state, right? We have all the culture war stuff that makes the national media, but the stuff that doesn't make the national media is that when there's a hurricane, we're rebuilding bridges within like a day, right? That the problems actually get solved here. That DeSantis has brought down crime rates dramatically, that he offered police officer a $10,000 stipend to move into the state.
Yeah, you made some very valid points, man. I mean, DeSantis is the benchmark for all Republicans. He is the standard. Well, he was there for a minute. He was. What do you mean he was? Because once he decided to run for president, all that went out the window. That's right. He's a traitor. He's a traitor, yeah. You know that? Yeah. Damn rhino. Deep state. You know why he's a traitor, right? Trump got him in office. Got him in office. Yeah. Without Trump, I admit. DeSantis. I will admit. Am I right or wrong? You're right. I admit that. I'm 100% right. You're right. No Trump. No DeSantis. Yeah, that's true. No DeSantis. What? No red wave in Florida. That state used to be purple. Well, this is the thing. Once, if there's no Trump, there's no DeSantis. But once DeSantis got in there, he made DeSantis. That's why he owes his allegiance to Trump, though. Don't work like that. It works like that. Yeah, it does. No, it don't. Literally don't. No. It does work like that. What are you talking about? He got him in there. I get that. He should be thankful. He should hold his loyalty
I'm sure he is thankful.
and allegiance to the one and only Donald J. Trump. No, he should, man. No. I get you a job, right? You get your hands off. I get you a job, right? Yeah. I get you in there. Right? Yeah. You turn a career into it. Raise a nice family. Earn a good wage. You owe me that. You better not do nothing stupid. You better not get fired. Because that could be reprehensible on me. That makes no sense. That makes all kinds of sense. That's the real world. No, it don't make any sense. You live in the Twilight Zone. Now, let me explain something to you. You ain't got to explain nothing to me. He's a damn traitor. He's a rhino. That's what he is.
Hey, Kelly,
he's a damn rhino.
You need to stop.
He is. No. How you gonna? How I'm gonna get you a job? I'm gonna get you a job, right?
Get your hands off of it.
And then I turn my back on. He didn't turn his back on him. He's a rhinehole. He's a rhinehole. Yeah, that's what he is. He's a rhinehole. Stupid. He's a turncoat. He should be loyal. Hey, Kevin, get serious for a second. I'm serious heart attack, man. Hey, how I'm gonna get you in the office? How I'm gonna get you in the office and then you gonna run against me? That's a damn traitor right there. He has to wait your turn. I got you in here. Just let me do what I gotta do. Then it'll be your turn. Kevin, ain't no turn. No. This is how the election system. No, you got short-term memory loss is the problem. I got you in there, right? Now you gonna be a good boy. You gonna wait your turn. That's all he doing. That's all Trump's saying. No, that's not how it works. Where at? What? You said it's not how it works. I was like, where at? Where does that work? That not work at? No, that's not how the election system works. If DeSantis wants to run for president, y'all see this, right? Keith Rhino, damn traitor. Sorry, man. We had a good run at it, man, but you gotta get the hell out of here. Hey, Kel. No, man, this shit, horse twins is over. You didn't turn your back on me, you're a damn traitor. You didn't turn on Trump. You need to get the hell out of this office. I did turn on Trump. No, man, you a damn traitor, man. No, Kevin, all the things Trump been through, he got him in there. I get that. Why can't he wait his damn turn? Ain't no turn. No, yeah, it's turn. When you go to the fair, when you go to Disneyland, you stand in line, right? You just don't skip the line and go in front of everybody else. That's what DeSantis is doing. He's skipping everybody. Thank you. Thank you. I'll buy you a ticket going to Disneyland, right? Right? Yeah, Kelvin. I'll buy you a ticket going to Disneyland. We get to the line, you cut me off and go in front of me. That's what DeSantis is doing. You sound like a damn Trump sycophant right now. No, I'm just spitting facts. Yeah, that ain't no facts. Hey, if you want, if you want to, you can start a show with Ben Shapiro. Both of you, two rhinos. Hey, Kevin, let me say something. You go ahead and switch to be Jewish too if you want to. Hey, look, I want to make this point. You a damn traitor. That's what you are. Go ahead and make your point, you damn traitor. How you gonna turn your back on Trump, man? I'm not turning my back on him. Oh man, you sound like you sound like a damn DeSantis supporter here. That's what you sound like. Sound like you voting for Ron. Hey. Meatball Ron at that. Hey, Kevin, can you shut up for a second? You ain't voting for Meatball, are you? I'm voting for a Patriot. That's what I'm voting for. I got Trump, man. Hey, let me say, I'm gonna stand over your shoulder when we go vote too. I'm gonna make sure you vote the right way too. So it's gonna be a problem up in that damn voting thing. Hey, Kevin, let me say something, man. Let me say something. Go on, say something, man. Better be good though. You know what I think? Watch what you say now. Think real carefully before you say anything. I'm just gonna make this point. Don't let these people down. I'm not gonna let them down. Okay, let's spit some facts. We got a brand over here. You don't want to throw away 3 hard years of work, man. Over a meatball. Hey, you know what I think? Like, I think Trump's gonna win the nomination. Oh, he's gonna win it. He can go out there and take a big dump in front of everybody. He's still gonna win it. Because everybody's obligated to vote for him. But yeah, you know why? Because he's been persecuted. Yeah, so let me say something. He's getting ready to get indicted again. Did you know that? Yeah, I guess broke, yeah. Yeah, they're gonna press charges against him. For being, I don't know. Y'all saw they treating Trump? Now y'all know what niggas felt like for like 100 years in this country. Nigga couldn't do nothing right. Had to do whatever master said. And even then, you couldn't even do it right. Let me say this. I'm gonna make a point. Right? I think Trump's gonna win the nomination. But I'll say this. What I think is crazy is, even though he's hands down gonna be the winner of the Republican nomination, from what according to the polls. Yeah. I think in a national election, I think DeSantis has the ability to get more votes from the independent voter and some of the Democrats. And women. And women. I don't think, you know why? Because it's like a game of matchups, just like football game or basketball, NBA, for example. It's like boxing. Remember Muhammad Ali? Yeah. He fought Joe Frazier. Those were some brawls. Yeah. Right? They could have went either way. Right? But then when Muhammad Ali fought George Foreman, he knocked out George Foreman. But when George Foreman fought Frazier, Man, he damn near decapitated Frazier. That damn fight was over in seconds. Knocked him out like 10 times in 5 seconds. It was like a damn boxing lynching. I watched that match, man. I was like, stay down, Joe. Stay down. Yeah, I seen the rerun. Yeah. That's what it is. I think Trump's going to win the nomination, but in a national election, I think DeSantis is the better option nationally. Yeah. No, man, these Trump supporters. And that doesn't make me a traitor. No, these Trump supporters, man. Trump is opening up people's eyes. What? He opened up people's eyes, man. He's got a plan to win it this time. What is it? He said he's unpopular with women. Trump's already got a plan for that. He's just going to grab him by you know what, you know? How he's going to unrob this election, he's got a plan for that too. Top secret, I can't tell you about that, but he's got a plan. He's got a Trump plan. Hope it ain't no damn USFL plan. Remember that football league he had? That's old news. It was a good idea. He should have just put a bunch of... But it's unpopular with women. Yeah.
That was funny. He was calling him that boy the meatball. But yet again, the fight of both of them just fighting for each other is a good fight. Everybody throwing their hats and running for president, having good ideas is what I rather see than nobody standing there and let Joe Biden just get another 4 years easily like he deserved. Then I'd be like, we have problems. On me. What was this 2 days ago?
It is the police call everybody will be talking about. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Denise Valdez.
I'm Brian Loftus. A family says something crashed.
No, everybody want to talk about that alien thing. That's how we got out.
You know what's funny?
What?
All day today, alien stuff has been popping up on my phone. All the conspiracy people are out again.
What the hell? This was an hour ago.
Right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Tonight, talking Trump. The former president's support runs deep in Missouri, but will it stay that way amid news of the federal indictment?
After a record dry air mass this week, I'm tracking rain and thunderstorms for part of the weekend.
But first tonight, backing out. An annual trade show is saying no to St. Louis.
I think it should be a wake-up call.
Why the family-owned company is taking their business elsewhere.
But first, we want to begin with some breaking news out of South St. Louis. Police are investigating a shooting involving a 12-year-old child. It happened just before 9 tonight near the BP gas station. That's at South 14th and Choteau. We're told the child is conscious and breathing. No word on what led up to the shooting or any suspects right now. We will keep you updated on air, online, and at KSDK.com and on the 5 on Your Side app. Thank you for being with us. I'm Ann Allred. For years, Dodd Foods has brought its annual trade show to America Center. But starting next year, the Food Service Redistribution Company will move its big convention out of our state. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend joins us live from downtown St. Louis. And Robert, what is...
That's sad how short they talked about that little kid getting shot. That's all I wanted to see. I thought, we was going to get a little bit more detail. I'm sorry, y'all. That's how they did us. I thought they was really going to show us something. Show us something. Okay, let's go home then. It's always something. Really? Really? Okay, there we go. I'm just trying to make sure that this thing was working. I guess they say, like, look here, you want the news all the time. Can we find one more before we go? This have been just news after news after news. This is just like everyday news. Couple of shootings. Everybody's finna be mad at Trump. Everybody finna put their 2 cents in Trump. Everybody finna try to get their poll ratings. Getting ready for election with Trump. That's about all you about to see for the next week. Yeah, this is what we about to all see for a week. Yeah, I ain't gonna hold y'all that much longer because that's all we gonna see for a week. I'm gonna have stuff to talk about for a week, just different and different and different. Let more idiots talk. I don't know who the idiots are gonna be. Just let more people talk. We have more stories to tell. Don't quit calling people idiots. That's so mean. Ladies and gentlemen, Trump has did it again. But now I don't know. He does got DeSantis up in there. So DeSantis might even it out. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I want to be on the Trump train. Like Trump's gonna win. Trump's gonna win. But I don't know now. Just don't know, y'all. But I'm not gonna hold y'all. Y'all please have a good night. Have a good morning, good afternoon. Whenever time you're seeing this, please smoke with your boy. Till next time. Peace.